What is up? What the fuck's going on?
That's our intro, bitch.
Holy shit. Yeah, we're just doing an air horn. We're not doing the Drinking Bros intro. We're not doing any of that shit. We're just here.
Just a lot of air horn.
Air horning like a motherfucker. I didn't even put my fucking...
You gotta hit the button again, Giorgio. It's too long.
Woos?
Yeah.
We going woos too?
No, it's sheesh. We're
Sheesh?
trying to connect to the,
Yeah,
the
we're all
youth.
Gen Z. All these players, they're not even fucking Gen Z anymore, are they? Or they're like barely Gen Z. They're about to be the next one.
What is after that?
I don't care.
Zoomer?
No, Zoomer is Gen Z.
No, I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't care. Welcome to the newest show on the Drinking Bros Network, Drinking Bros Sports Network, outside the top 25. What does that mean? It's college football. We're talking about
We are contractually obligated not to talk about anybody who is relevant. That's what it means.
not even remotely relevant. ZOU, Tyler Swankin here. So we're going to talk about teams like Mizzou.
And UCF.
And BT Bates' precious Arkansas. We're going to talk about all the teams you won't fucking see in the top 25. Even though I think both of us are predicting at least 2 out of the 3 of those teams I just mentioned might sniff the top 25.
UCF and Mizzou might sniff it, actually.
Yeah.
Not to be a homer, but
fucking,
it'll be kind of a relief to you guys if they do make the top 25, because then we can't talk about
fucking blow ourselves. Yeah. But we're fucking here, man. We're fucking here. Outside the top 25 is live. This is probably the show I've been the most excited about all year. We came up with this idea with Ross and Dan a couple months ago, I think.
Yeah, because we used to host multiple college football shows.
Yes, several.
Yeah.
And now we're fucking here.
Our last being Unofficial Visit, pour one out. It was us and our co-host on Softcore History, Jake Goldman.
Yes, we were doing that together. We'll probably have Jake on at some point.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah.
Once Emory Jones blows it,
yeah,
and Florida falls out, yeah.
Once the Gators drop out of the top 25, I actually really wanted to pick them for a team to drop out, but their schedule is just so weak. Like, I don't see them losing 5 games.
Jacob Nickel, no. We probably won't be talking about Iowa, because Iowa's actually pretty good this year.
Well, I don't know about that. I think I have them. I think I did pick them to fall out. But yeah,
really?
This is outside the top 25. We're talking about all the fucking teams that aren't ever talked about. We're talking about middle of the pack ACC. We're talking about fucking Fun Belt.
We're talking about my fucking Roadrunners, okay? UTSA, stand up.
We're talking about the Boston College Golden Goddamn Eagles.
Great offensive line this year.
Who we both love this year.
I do.
Yeah.
I actually love Boston College this year.
We're talking about ECU, Nico the Greco. We're talking about everything. This is essentially, I don't know. This is probably, if you like college football, your team is probably not going to be discussed in the main show, which Ross and Dan will do.
No, not a chance.
It's going to be discussed here.
I mean, nowhere else you're going to find us like a sports show talking about Holton Ahlers from ECU. A fat quarterback. Love me a fat quarterback.
We have a new Pillsbury throw boy.
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
well, he's been around. This is his 3rd year now for the Pirates.
But I mean,
he's
still
a problem
just a
sometimes.
new Pillsbury throw boy, like a fat guy. I like Mizzou's kicker's a fat guy. We like to call him our thicker. I forget
Rusty
his name.
Barnett just threw $5 already.
Rusty, we got a lot of Ole Miss.
Yeah, we got plenty of Ole Miss.
We got a lot of Ole Miss talk today. In fact, we both think that Ole Miss might not be long for this show.
That's not true.
I think so. All right, well, let's just get into it. Let's just get into our
once
fucking
they
show.
hit conference play.
Let's stop fucking beating ourselves off and start talking about it.
Let's just keep promoting the show that's going to happen eventually.
Give me that air horn again. Give me the hype horn again.
Give it to us. Thank you, Papa G.
Yeah. You look handsome today. Can I get the horn?
We got the woo.
Yeah.
The Ric Flair.
Everything.
Just hit all the buttons.
This isn't a show.
That's American Party.
Yeah. There's nothing happening here. The first it's like American Party. Yeah, the first 20 minutes will be nothing.
Should I start hitting on you?
Yeah, why not?
No, I'm just kidding. Actually, no. We know that I have a long-standing rivalry with your child. That
my baby is. I'm actually really angry at my wife. I can tie this into college football too. So she's getting induced on the 1st in the middle of the night, which means the baby will be out hopefully on the 1st, and hopefully alive. And she sent me a text the other day, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, he'll be here for the first Mizzou game of the year." And then she wrote immediately after that and ruined that by saying, "But I don't think I'll have it in me to make tailgate snacks for the game." And I was like, I hearted the first one. I gave a little heart for the first one.
Did you go thumbs down?
I went thumbs down for the second one.
Okay.
I disapproved of that statement, and I would still like her to make me like some wings or something.
$5 for the crowning from Elin G. I've also decided to turn course on my relationship with your child. I'm going to raise the child as my own because I know he will not have a proper father.
Oh, wow. That's all right.
Yeah.
So you're going to try to steal my child?
No, I'm not going to steal him straight up, but I will be like that uncle that just kind of hangs around and will like kind of cuck you from being a father.
Are you saying you're going to buy his child a prostitute to lose its virginity?
When his child is at the right age of 9, yes.
You take my boy to a cat house?
When he's 9, yeah.
Okay. That's fine, I guess. I'm just going to be annoyed when I'm like, hey, do you want to go to the park? And he's like, nah.
I'll show him how to shoot a compound bow.
I don't think you know how to do that.
We'll start to lift weights together.
Do that in Delco. Well, I know you're going to, the weightlifting part might be. I don't trust you to have the energy to come out to Dripping Springs, though. So I think this plan is going to fail.
Yeah, but you have to build your home. It's
a year.
It's a year process.
You're not even going to imprint on him are you just going to try to imprint on him really hard in the first year?
If he's not walking by, 6 weeks.
Okay. I don't necessarily, though, trust you. Like, you don't have impressive calves. Not really.
It's actually the least impressive thing.
Yeah,
on my
like
body.
you got a good butt, but everything below the butt.
That's not true. I have good quads.
You have good quads?
Great quads.
Okay. Well,
terrible calves.
I'm good all the way up to
Johnny
the waist.
Drama calves.
I'm waist up is my problem.
Might get implants. That's for a future.
All right.
Future decision. Maybe Kylie might be. I don't know. We'll see. But let's get into some college football, shall we?
Yeah, let's talk college football. I mean, we can still talk.
it.
You could still say like you're gonna like cuck me with my own baby throughout it, but let's start getting into the content.
Right. Because obviously, all right. First off, will you let your child play football?
I'm fine with it. My wife is kind of like sketched out by it. I'll tell you this much: like I'm going to be not very useful in teaching him football.
Wrong answer. He's getting into MMA as a child.
Ugh. Gross. No. He'll do karate and hate it.
He's not doing karate.
He'll do karate and hate it.
Don't put him
Yeah, but I'll let him. I don't
fucking
mind him playing football.
karate.
Certainly because like they play flag football until they're like fucking 10 anyway now. So I definitely don't care about that.
Damn.
Does that mean our whole generation is just kind of fucked up from playing tackle football since 4?
Yeah.
I've never played tackle football.
But I used to have to make weight. That was the most fucked
football
up thing.
weigh-ins, yep.
Because I was a fucking fat child.
So you're too fat.
Yeah.
Did you get upgraded to the older kids?
When I was
put fatty with the 8th graders.
Dude, it was the worst. I was like 8 or 9, and I remember having to make 100-pound fucking peewee, and
you had to cut weight.
I always had to cut weight. It was always it was brutal.
Just an 8-year-old like fingering your throat to try and make the game that week.
I was a massive child. So I mean, I went from playing peewee, kind of Pop Warner, making weight, to once you get to 5th grade, that's when there was no weight limits for Catholic school.
Okay.
So I went from a lineman to a running back.
All right.
Yeah. It's pretty sick.
Like that. Wow, I always forget the
fullback.
That Ram. Oh, okay. So you're like a Mike Allstott, like a doughy Mike Allstott.
I would always rock the neck pad, little ring that went around my neck.
Yeah.
And I would wear an Allstott jersey to practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were just
a hero.
beast of burden for your team.
I grew before a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was about 6. I was about the same size I am now.
I know your type. Because you're not that tall or anything, but you were probably like the tallest kid in 6th grade.
I hit my athletic peak in 6th grade, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. Like I know like the kids who were like shaving in like 7th grade and shit like that.
That was me.
Yeah. And then you just stopped. But at least you lost it. All right, let's get into this fucking shit.
Biggest storylines outside the top 25.
Our biggest storylines of the year for teams currently outside the top 25. Not all these teams might remain outside the top 25.
But just moving forward,
Yeah. What do you got up
prediction?
first?
I honestly, I think both these teams are going to remain outside the top 25.
Yes.
Harbaugh, Scott Frost, trying to win back their alma maters.
I don't think Michigan at any point should punt on Harbaugh. I really don't necessarily. I don't know what's going on in Michigan. What?
You don't think they're better than Harbaugh?
Who else are they going to get?
I tend to agree with that. Yeah. Like, are you going to do better?
And honestly, like they got unlucky for most of it. Like they need to give Harbaugh time and let Ryan Day get his full roster of people in, and then see where it's at. Because no, Jim Harbaugh is not and never will be as good of a college coach as Urban Meyer. So I don't know why Harbaugh going 0 for whatever against Meyer and then the remnants of Urban Meyer teams is that big of a deal. I honestly, like, Michigan, just let them go. Like, Texas can survive, like, 5 bad coaches in a row. Let Michigan just go a little longer, see what they do. They don't recruit that badly, I don't think. Like, so I don't think, even though Michigan's, like, annoyed with Harbaugh, I don't think he's going anywhere, and I don't think they should send him anywhere. Nebraska, on the other hand,
Already in hot water.
Nebraska, I don't know if they should give up on Scott Frost, but I'll just say this. They need to give up on what they think they are.
The idea of the return of the 90s?
Yes. That's what they need to give up on.
Yeah.
Not Scott Frost. They need to give up on Scott Frost, the player. It's what they need to give up on.
Although Scott Frost is not exactly, like, it's not their style of play they want back, right?
Why would, honestly, fuck it. Go with that. Go with that style. The only problem is that in football, basketball has this problem too, because we talk about this on our basketball show, college basketball show all the time, where weird styles wins a lot against teams you don't see very often, but it has diminishing returns every year in your conference because they see you all the time.
For sure, but like Scott Frost, like, you know, that Oregon offense he brought to UCF worked in Orlando because we had Florida speed.
Right.
A little harder to get kids to come to Lincoln.
Yeah, because where do they recruit?
Like
They don't
skill
even get
players.
They don't even get Texas kids
No. No,
anymore. They used to be able to at least get Texas kids when they're in the Big 12.
I don't even what are the states that Nebraska recruits?
I don't know. I don't
Ohio?
fucking know. Yeah, Ohio would be the main one, but they're not even in the same fucking division as Ohio State, so like they don't get to play them every year. So it's not like a guarantee.
You getting a California kid to come to fucking Corn City?
Yeah, no, you don't want that shit. Nebraska doesn't need to give up on Scott Frost. They just need to give up on themselves.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like accept your mediocrity. Like I know the West is a much weaker division in the Big Ten, and like
It's a extremely winnable division every year.
every year, but you're always going to be a lamb to slaughter against Ohio State in the conference championship game.
Yeah.
Like that's your peak. That is the ceiling.
It's like if Alabama played alone in a conference, basically, is where we're at with that right now. And maybe I'm not totally sold that Michigan can't get back on track with Harbaugh. They got really close in the early years with Harbaugh. Now they're just kind of in a lull. I like that. I will say this, man. I feel bad for both those schools because it's brutal to watch an alma mater coach crash and burn as a fan, and I've done it twice this decade with Barry Odom in football and Kim Anderson in basketball. And you want not to hate them so bad, and you want to be like, oh, but they're one of us. But you really, somehow it makes you hate them more.
Yeah, unfortunately, Dante Culpepper hasn't gotten the starting gig at UCF yet. So I'm unfamiliar.
Where is Culpepper coaching?
He's not coaching. I think he's just chilling.
I don't know to coach somewhere.
I don't think so.
All right.
Maybe at high school. It's a good question.
I could have sworn he was fucking coaching somewhere, but maybe I don't. Whatever. I don't really care.
Hey, but I mean, Cade McNamara just got that cryptocurrency deal with the NIL.
Tight.
So Michigan at least makes they have a smarter quarterback.
I'm excited to see how many of these kids get poorer because of NILs.
Well, they're Michigan men.
Like they just
through
get
and through.
conned into pyramid schemes and they lose money on their NIL. Do you think either of them should punt on their coach?
No. I mean, you can't really punt on Scott Frost yet, right? Like he hasn't even gotten a full.
This is his
round.
fourth year, actually, not his
Okay.
third year. So he's got his guys.
He's had Adrian Martinez for 3 years.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got his recruits. It's his roster now.
We'll touch on it later on the podcast when we actually get into the games. Can't really have your lead-in rusher be your quarterback. It's usually not a recipe for
typically, unless
success.
it's like Lamar Jackson or Teddy Bridgewater or something,
right. But you need a running back, which they do have. They got
or Scott Frost, perhaps. But
they're getting some transfers. Kid from USC transferred in. So they finally have a little bit of a running back.
That is the one place, and because transferring so easy now, honestly, like Nebraska,
They should be transfer you.
yeah, like they're not going to get that many. And maybe once they build themselves up with transfer you, like once they build themselves up with transfers, they'll be able to get more of the blue chip talent again as freshmen
Marquise
or whatever.
Strep.
But like
USC.
right now, like they need another strategy because they're not gonna pull these Texas, Southeast, even Ohio kids.
Maybe.
Certainly not California.
So what Spibital's doing right now in T-State, he's like punting on recruiting altogether and just going all transfers. Like he gave out 0 scholarships this year to freshmen.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're in the Midwest, you have like Nebraska still has that name recognition where you could be like, hey, you can come play for us.
It's D1. You'll be on massive TV every week.
You get some of these kids that were like 4 or 5 stars coming out of high school, but for whatever reason they didn't work out wherever they go.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, come to Nebraska. Come on in.
I will say for college basketball, honestly, there's probably I would almost prefer my teams I root for to just take a bunch of transfers, especially from mid-majors, like upperclassmen transfers, unless it's like a blue chip recruit. And I think football will get kind of the same way at some point, where like a JUCO transfer or a G5 transfer is more valuable. Who's a junior or senior is more valuable than a 3.5-star freshman or something like that.
I will say though, I don't think Scott Frost deserves to be fired this year, or even next year, if they don't necessarily turn it around.
They have to.
Real
You
fast.
have to be so fucking bad, but they're trying to fire him.
Yeah, he's going through it right now. Some allegations being tossed around.
Let's clarify, because when you say allegations, that's a wide spectrum of things. It's not like Trevor Bauer allegations. It's like the weakest ass allegations.
Right.
About
it's like you're practicing when you're not supposed to. Yeah. So it's like they're just kind of dinging him with little shit, and it's not like a huge deal, but they'll find a reason if they want to push him out.
They will, because Nebraska can't let go. It's very similar to Tennessee, except I still think Tennessee is more realistic. I think Tennessee could still be a powerhouse again, even though I don't think they will. Nebraska has no chance. They just need to let go and get it and get comfortable in the middle class.
Yeah, be comfortable with that Mike Riley 9-win season. That Bo Pelini always wins 8-9 games.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable.
That's where you live.
I think it's reasonable for schools like Michigan, Texas, and Tennessee to be like, fuck that. We should be back at the 10-11 win every year threshold. I think it's reasonable for those schools to say that. It is not reasonable anymore for Nebraska to think that way.
Ivan Huerta asks, any chance anyone playing in week 0 makes a playoff? No.
Absolutely not.
Unless
Absolutely
you really
not.
believe in Chip Kelly, which you should not.
No. If Illinois makes the college football playoff, I will post my dogs licking peanut butter off of my genitals
You think Bert's going to have him fucking winning more than 5 games this year?
to Giorgio's OnlyFans if Illinois makes the playoff.
I mean, that's such a weak fucking thing to throw out because there's no chance.
I know there's no chance.
There's no possibility.
That's what I'm saying.
Why are
I'm
you
willing to
incriminating me in
risk it all.
bestiality?
Yeah, what?
Why I get
there's
brought
zero
in on this?
threat, Giorgio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not happening. No week 0 teams are making the playoffs. Next up, Chip. Is Chip Kelly getting things going at UCLA? And
a good little transition.
How do you feel about the Lane train in Oxford?
I do think Chip's turning around, but no, he has no chance at the playoff this year.
No, there's no chance of the playoff.
I think ceiling for UCLA this year maybe 7 wins, 7-8 wins. That's a good season. It's a good season for Pac-12.
I think they start out 4-0 and then kind of piddle through the rest of the season. They start out 4-0, they beat LSU, and people get excited. And they beat.
Oh, you're calling your shot right now.
Yeah, I think they beat LSU.
Okay.
Because I have no faith in LSU.
Defense is a little better. You have DTR returning under center. He's kind of up and down. He's kind of been inconsistent. Chip's not really been super supportive his entire career. But, I mean, I think UCLA, again, they're going to live in that middle of the Pac-12. Pac-12 is going to beat up on each other like they always do, and they'll be like, it's a shit conference.
Is that really the way to put it?
There was a time
beat up on each other.
There was a time when the Pac-12 was all just solid teams that would just fuck each other up and eat each other alive.
Yeah.
And you could they were good teams. They were solid teams. Now, not so much. It's a little top heavy. Oregon's going to be great. USC's going to be great, but we can't talk about those kind of teams right now.
No, not yet. Although, what did you say? Who are the two? USC and Oregon?
Yeah.
I think we might be talking about one of them at some point.
Maybe Utah.
Is Utah ranked right now?
Utah's ranked.
Yeah, we might be talking about Utah, but Utah will be a problem all year. Like, even if they drop out, because they're 24 right now.
Utah's always a problem.
Even if they drop out, they'll be fucking annoying. But no, I think UCLA, because they have the 10th ranked offense in the country according to SP+. I think they beat Hawaii. I think they beat LSU. Then they easily handle Fresno. Then they win at Stanford, and it's like a road win, so people get excited. Then, boom, they have a really fun showdown with ASU. People get hyped about the Pac-12 maybe being back and doing stuff. That game probably ends up being a decent game, too, but they lose. And then they piddle through the rest of the season. They get Washington, Oregon, and Utah in a row, which is a pretty brutal stretch. And then they play at USC. Like, they're going to end the season. I think 7 wins sounds right for them, maybe 8, but we're going to get excited about UCLA early. They'll probably be pretty high flying. I think they're going to look good against LSU. Like, LSU's defense was absolute dog shit last year, and I know they always have the talent, and that was just probably more of a scheme situation, like a coaching situation. But I don't know. I think they beat LSU, even though it's in Death Valley or whatever.
No, it's at the Rose Bowl, right? Or is it
Oh no, it is versus LSU. You're right.
Yeah. It's either at the Rose Bowl or it's like a neutral site game.
It's at the Rose Bowl.
Okay.
I am wrong. Yeah. Yeah. So I think I would think they win that game. And we get a little excited about UCLA, but then they piddle out.
Yeah. Arizona State, they catch at home still. They catch Oregon at home. Got to go to Washington. That'll be a weird game. They got to go to Utah.
I'll even grant that I actually could see them beating Arizona State, and then we get
I don't think Arizona State's very good.
We get really excited.
I think we'll be talking about Arizona State soon.
So I mean, UCLA could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They could go 6-0 going into that Washington game, and then we're really fucking like, oh, the Pac-12 is back. Then they lose 2 of their next 3, and then they lose to USC, and then we're like, well, who cares? But maybe it's the type of thing where it's like, well, next year. I mean, that will save Chip Kelly's job. The hype at the beginning, that a 6-0 start.
I don't think Chip's in danger.
I don't think he is
job.
either, but I think it'll cement him. Like, he won't be on a hot seat if he does that at all. But if he stumbles out of the gate, if he loses LSU and Arizona State, then things are getting a little worrisome.
Or he just trips up week 0 against Hawaii.
I mean,
Todd Graham just fucking runs the ball down their throat somehow.
Then there's
Hawaii just goes full.
I would enjoy
old
watching.
school Todd Graham.
I would enjoy watching that. That would be fucking funny to me. But I see UCLA having a hot start to the season and then kind of 500 ball the rest of the way.
I can see that, man. Again, I think they're still in 6. We're 7. 7-8 wins.
7-8 wins. Their best case scenario, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Because I think they might catch an L to Fresno.
They're not losing to fucking Fresno.
I'm a little high on Fresno this year.
Yeah, well, that's weird and fucking dumb.
Steven Abbas.
The Valley.
I don't know why you would like that at all.
Why?
Their best case scenario.
Fresno went 3-3 last year, and I don't think they were able to practice before they played.
All right.
They went like from March to September without like being able to meet as a team.
You know what? We all have those problems last year.
Like,
all right.
They just showed up to game 1 and we're like, I guess we'll play.
You're
Thanks to
describing
California
every
COVID
episode of
laws.
Drinking Bros.
What's that?
You're describing every episode of Drinking Bros.
Yeah.
Fresno State just looks pretty bad all around. I think they're ranked like 80th in S&P Plus or something like that. They're beating it. They're beating them. UCLA
based off
actually.
last year,
I'll say this: UCLA, their best case scenario, their tippy toppy peak is they win 10 games, including a bowl. Mm-hmm. And it's not out of the question, but it's a long shot. I give them like a 20% chance of that. Ole Miss, on the other hand,
Lane train. Choo-choo.
Dude,
They'll be exciting. They'll be fun. They'll score a lot of points. They're not going to win a lot of games.
I kind of think they're a sleeping giant.
Why?
Because they have a pretty soft schedule. They catch Tennessee and Vanderbilt cross division, I think. Vandy's their cross division rival.
Open up with Louisville.
Which is a win.
That's a dub.
Then they
Austin P.
2-0. They're going to beat Tulane. I don't care about your weird Tulane obsession. 3-0.
Green Wave.
Yeah.
You don't just let the Green Wave come into Oxford and think you're going to roll over.
I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
So their one cross division that they catch is Tennessee, who I think they're going to beat.
Well, they got to go to Bama.
They're going to lose to Bama. However, I
Got
think
Arkansas coming in.
I think that
Arkansas
Bama
is
game,
tough.
that Bama game is going to be more interesting than you think. They gave Bama a game last year. Bama could not stop them last year.
That's not happening again. I'm sorry.
I think it is.
You think it's just Lane has Saban's number?
I kind of think he knows what Saban's doing. And Alabama lost all their coordinators. They lost a ton of coaches. This is exactly what happened to Alabama. I guess they still made the national championship game, but it was the year they got murdered by fucking Clemson. I don't like Alabama to cover in that game, and I love the over in that game.
Mississippi's going to lose to Liberty.
They sure aren't, although I do like Liberty. I think I wrote in my notes here, here's what's going to happen. They're going to threaten to win 10 games. They're going to get real close, if not win 10 games. They're either going to beat Bama or A&M, but they're going to lose a dumb game to like Auburn, and then Liberty's going to play them tight. Like Liberty's going to make them look weak because Liberty's going to play them real fucking tough.
I got them down for 8-4.
8-4.
So we'll be talking about them all year.
No, man. I think they're actually going to be in the top 20. They're going to be in and out all year. We're not going to be able to talk about them in consecutive weeks very often.
Okay. But they will be showing up.
Yeah, they'll be back on the show. But I mean, what? They're going to start 3-0. They'll probably lose to Bama. But then they're what? 4-1, 5-1. I think they beat LSU 6-1.
You're high on Corral.
Yeah.
Plumlee's playing slot now.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah. No, I love their offense. I fucking love their offense. I don't think they lose another game after Alabama until A&M. So they're going to go a month and a week without losing a game.
I think that Arkansas game's tough.
That Arkansas game is not tough. It's at Ole Miss. They're going to beat Arkansas. I think Arkansas is overrated as fuck. They're going to beat Arkansas. They're going to beat Tennessee. They could lose to Auburn, or they could lose to LSU. Even though I don't like LSU.
And Liberty.
They're not going to lose to Liberty.
Liberty's going to give them a game.
Liberty is going to give them a game. I would not bet. I would bet the over on that game. I would not bet bet Ole Miss to cover. They're going. I think they might beat A&M. I think they might fuck up A&M's season. That's a trap game for A&M. At Ole Miss.
I'm high on A&M, so.
Cold game. Yeah. I've been to an Ole Miss game in November. It's fucking cold.
If you want somebody that's like kind of a long shot for the national championship, 37-1 for A&M.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
For the team you're getting. Oregon too, but again.
And I will say,
these teams.
the Mississippi State game at the end of the year, the Egg Bowl, is a toss-up.
It doesn't matter, yeah. It's just how the game always goes.
Yeah, they're not guaranteed to do anything. It's at Mississippi State, so that could be a problem. But I think including a bowl game, they end the season with 10 wins. Like I really see them as a double-digit win team.
Okay.
And I think they pull a massive upset this year.
Next biggest story. I definitely wrote this. Mackenzie Milton possibly winning the starting quarterback job at Florida State over Jordan Travis.
Why wouldn't he win it?
Well, Norvell's keeping it close to the vest.
Yeah.
First game against Notre Dame.
Fair enough.
Got to prepare for two different styles.
Yeah, got to prep for everyone.
Also, just the fact that he would get on the field again after his leg almost was amputated.
It was an Alex Smith situation.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was real bad.
Good for him. I didn't even have anything to say about this. Hooray for Mackenzie Milton, I guess. Florida State's not going to be good.
Okay, but say Mackenzie Milton's 80% of what he was at UCF.
Okay.
What does that make Florida State? Let's say what if they come out, Mackenzie Milton just torches Notre Dame, Florida State just pulls the Texas versus Notre Dame a few years back. It's just is Florida State back?
Yeah, I could see that. I could for sure see that because Notre Dame. I don't know that Notre Dame's going to drop out of the top 25 this year, but they're overranked.
Yeah, I like the Notre Dame team that they got Cohen coming in from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Got a stable running backs, good fucking receivers. Defense should be good.
Yeah, they're Notre Dame. They're always going to be an elite team, but they always also play a hard schedule.
And Brian Kelly's a good coach.
He is. He is a genuinely good coach. He just can't. He almost. Notre Dame is like Nebraska on steroids. right? Mm-hmm. Like they have to let go of ever being an Alabama, Oklahoma, Ohio State type team, right? They're never going to be that, but they're still a playoff contender to make the playoff.
They're also
year.
a national brand.
They are a national
They
brand.
have their own. NBC just dedicates their entire network to Notre Dame
I mean,
games.
dude, Nebraska was a national brand back in the day, too.
Yeah, but they didn't get people that never stepped foot in their state getting tattoos of their logo
All
on
I'm
their
saying
body.
is Notre Dame needs to accept that they're not the 1% anymore. They're just upper middle class.
Yeah.
Like they're staying at the nicest hotel on the island. They don't own a house on the island.
Do you watch Succession at all?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I was gonna say they're Greg the Egg,
Sure.
where they're part of the family, but they're only making like $5 million
Yeah. Yes.
in like a fucking Trump-esque family.
Which is poor to
Yes.
them.
Yes.
I could see them winning a lot of games, though. I mean, okay, they could beat Notre Dame week 1. I'm not saying they will, but it's possible.
No. I don't have super high expectations for Florida State. I'm just saying, what if?
They have a cake-ass schedule after Notre Dame until North Carolina, though. I mean, they're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to be 4-1 going into UNC, and they're going to be 6-2 or 5-2 going into Clemson, and then who knows the rest of the way? Because I mean, NC State, Miami, BC, and Florida are not. They're probably going to win one of those games.
I think it's a successful season if Mackenzie ends the year with 2 legs.
I agree. I don't want to see Mackenzie Milton wearing a blade. The blade foot.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that.
And then
happen.
shoot his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Don't need that.
He probably won't do that. I don't think he'll do that. Anyway.
I don't think so. Doesn't seem like the type. Next up, we got PJ Fleck, Tanner Morgan. Can they relive that 2019 Minnesota run?
No.
Opening up the season against the Ohio State. Some people in this office like Ohio State to win the national championship.
I do not. But
We're both on Georgia, although I'm talking myself into Ohio State more and more. That doesn't matter. We're talking about Minnesota Golden Gophers right now.
this is outside the top 25. You get out of here, you Ohio State alum. You're not welcome to this podcast. This is outside the top 25. Just hope you never get mentioned on this podcast. I bet Ohio State to cover 13.5 on that game. I don't believe in Minnesota. Fuck Minnesota. Minnesota fans are actually annoying. People don't realize this. Minnesota fans have a very odd pride about them that is almost Nebraska, Tennessee-esque, but older because they won a couple natties in like the 50s.
And they have Tony Robbins as their coach.
What, PJ?
Yeah.
He's just like Mr. Motivational.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fucking annoying.
He's like walk on the coals.
I remember when Missouri played Minnesota in the Citrus Bowl in 2014, and both teams were ranked like top 20 but not top 10, and we beat them. We were ranked higher, and we beat them. We were the favorite in that game, and the amount of Minnesota. This is when I was working at TFM too, so like I had a ton of college kids following me, and the amount of like Minnesota fans were blowing me up about how they're like embarrassed about that loss and all that shit, and I was like, "You're Minnesota."
We're love
Missouri.
I love all the trophies they play for, especially in the Big Ten, where
They
it's
do
just
have a
like
lot of trophies.
It's fucking Paul Bunyan's axe and
Yeah.
like some fucking giant jug. Like they just have a trophy for every game. I don't
bell.
understand it.
It is weird. So they're going to lose to Ohio State. Here's actually what's weird. What's going to happen? They're going to lose to Ohio State. Minnesota might rip off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're going to lose to Ohio State. They might win 6 to 7 of their next 8 games. They could drop a road game at Purdue. That's always scary. And they play at Northwestern, who has an elite defense. That's a little scary too. But their last 3 games, I don't know if they're going to win any of them. I know you don't like Indiana, but they close with at Iowa, at Indiana, and Wisconsin at home. They're losing to Wisconsin. They're losing to Iowa.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, it's at in Iowa City. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They'll lose to Wisconsin. Yeah. I mean Minnesota. Yeah,
But honestly,
7-8
I
wins.
think they lose to Ohio State. I have no confidence in Minnesota. I think they lose to Ohio State. I think they lose at Purdue. I think they might lose at Northwestern. They're at least going to be in a hard.
What time's that game at?
It's not
It's not determined yet, but if it's an 11 a.m. kickoff, little sleepy game in Evanston or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, Northwestern's a sleepy team though. They don't care about 11 a.m. kickoffs.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh, yeah.
You don't go into Northwestern at 11 a.m. on a Saturday and walk away with a W.
No, you
Never
don't.
happens. Ask Wisconsin.
I think you can pencil in Minnesota for 4 losses bare minimum,
Okay.
up to 6. I could see them fucking up a game against, like, honestly, Illinois or Nebraska even.
Little Mountain West talk. Shouts to Nick for this next topic. Can Nevada or San Jose State, who are the champions of the Mountain West last year, challenge Boise for the Mountain West again this year?
I don't know. I mean, I would say, like, Boise has a brutal schedule, but it's not really Mountain West related.
Mountain West kind of low-key good this year.
It is. So Boise catches your boys week 1,
They're taking the loss, yeah.
and then they catch Oklahoma State week 3 and BYU week 5. I'll tell you this. If Boise State beats UCF and beats Oklahoma State, give me them for the Mountain West.
They got talent. Bachmeier's back. Isn't dealing with COVID.
Right. Because if Boise State beats those 2 teams, then they get BYU week 5.
BYU's bad this year. They're not good.
It doesn't matter. It's still a name brand. And then they get San Diego State last week, who will be a formidable team. What I'm saying is if Boise State beats UCF and Oklahoma State, they're playing for a New Year's Six Bowl. So they're not fucking around in any game.
Oh, no, I don't think they're beating Nevada, is what I'm saying. I think Nevada's better.
Really?
I also think San Jose State's better.
All right. Boise does not play San Jose State.
They will in the
Championship game?
yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But no, Nevada, Carson Strong's back. Probably the best quarterback, I think, in the conference.
I feel like you're a Boise State expert this year just because you guys are catching them week 1. Uh-huh. So you've looked
I've been high on
deeply-
Bachmeier since I remember the game against Florida State 2 years ago vividly because I bet on Boise hard. And they went into Tallahassee and kicked their fucking ass.
Boise did.
Boise did,
Actually,
yeah.
wasn't it a comeback?
No, Florida State came back. They
Florida
went
State
in
came
and
back.
but they still Boise hung on.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. I'll say this at least. I was impressed with Boise State's schedule. I thought they grabbed some.
I like that they scheduled teams.
I do. I mean, fuck, dude. What do you want from them?
Yeah, if they run the table on the schedule, they'll definitely
They're
go
a
to
New Year's Six
a
team
New Year's
for
6 team.
sure.
Yeah, that's not a question.
I just got a text from a friend saying, "Yikes, Kansas State, OSU." But I don't know what that means. Anyway, next
Breaking
up we
news?
got your boys. It just says Gus Bus in Orlando. Dan wrote this outline.
Mm-hmm.
Dan's very excited. Why don't you just talk about UCF for a minute?
Well, we have a lot of kids coming in from Auburn, obviously, following their coach. Gus is an upgraded coach. Very happy to see Heupel out of here. Lost us a lot of games. We have the talent. Dylan Gabriel back for his 3rd year. Best quarterback in the conference. Don't care about Ritter. I think Cincinnati, it's a massive down year for them. We'll be talking about Cincinnati in the not top 25, I think, in a few weeks here.
No, we won't be talking about Cincinnati
We will.
on this podcast.
They lost a lot of their line. Reports out of Orlando is our defensive line is ferocious. We are going to wreck teams. We're going to wreck Boise this first week. We're going to be ranked. I won't have to talk about my school anymore after this week.
You probably
Or
won't
week 1.
have to talk about them for a minute. Yeah. But I don't know.
What don't you know?
We'll see what happens when you
Well,
play
yes, we'll see what
Cincinnati.
happens. We'll see what happens.
Where are you playing Cincinnati this year?
At Cincinnati.
Yeah?
We're fine with that.
Where are you playing SMU this
They
year?
lost their defense coordinator.
You
He
have
went to Notre Dame.
you have 3 games on your schedule that scare me. Boise, week 1.
No, not a problem.
At Cincinnati.
We should have beat them last year. I think we were up 9 going into the 4th quarter,
So you
and
did
we didn't
not
even cover.
you had Josh Heupel.
Classic Josh. Yeah.
Classic Josh Heupel.
Anything the last 2 years you want to blame UCF for, it's Josh Heupel.
I would fully agree with that. I co-signed that as someone who had to watch him be an offensive coordinator. I'm a little afraid of that at SMU game. SMU's not a fucking joke anymore.
Bouchel's gone.
Their
Not a
coach
problem.
ain't. Sonny Dykes still there.
Sonny Dykes, good coach.
Sonny Dykes is a good
Great
fucking
coach.
coach. SMU, honestly, as much as fun as Cincinnati and UCF are, it would be best for the American if SMU became the premier team in that league.
Nah, I don't think so.
I 100% think so.
I would like them to be relevant, yeah.
They are the most
Elevate
fun,
the conference.
They're the most fun school in that conference when you combine history with just who they are.
There's a reason why SMU is not getting an offer to the Big 12, though. So,
Well, they already got kicked out of the old fucking Southwest. So
Yeah.
when they got left out of that shit for Baylor, basically. Well, Houston really got left out of them for Baylor.
but I'll stop stroking off my team. I will say though, I think UCF. I think on mybookie.ag promo code
Drinking Bros.
Drinking Bros.
Yeah, that's the one.
Doubles your deposit.
Yeah, you put in $500, you get $500.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I would put that. I think UCF right now to win the American is 4-1, where it's plus 375, close to 4-1. I would hammer that. I don't think it's close. Like I think we're.
You think UCF's definitely? Wait, what? It's 4-1 odds that UCF wins it. Mm-hmm. Fuck, dude, I don't know. I just like Cincinnati a lot. I don't know. I can talk about them.
Everyone's high on Cincinnati.
They're ranked in the top 25. So
yeah, well, like
We
you
won't
gotta
talk about 'em too
reset.
much.
Usually, you come back to the mean. You regress to the mean.
I just like what they have one other advantage that you're not really acknowledging. Cincinnati.
Fickle.
Yeah. They have the
he's
same
okay.
coach. You're breaking. I know it's Gus Malzahn, and I love the Gus Malzahn hire, but it's still year one for Gus Malzahn. That doesn't worry you at all.
What does worry me is Josh Heupel's recruits on the offensive line, where he was bringing in kids from Germany instead of just getting fucking Florida talent.
Yeah, that's not ideal. I would probably recruit from Florida instead of Germany.
Yeah, I would probably recruit.
I haven't
from
coached a lot of
Florida.
football in my day, but I've heard.
So enjoy that. Hire Tennessee. I'm sure we'll be talking a lot
Oh
about
my
you this
God,
year.
I can't fucking wait to watch Tennessee fucking implode with Josh Heupel. It's going to be so bad. Like, that fan base, if there was a betting line where the over-under on Josh Heupel was 2.5 years, I would
Smash the under.
smash the under.
Yeah.
He is gone. I mean, he is.
Pruitt was only there for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah, he wasn't there long, and they're going to hate Heupel way more than they hated Pruitt.
Yes.
Way.
Especially because it was essentially just like a backroom deal from Danny White.
He
It's
is
like we hired your AD, so he's just going to bring along the coach.
the worst offensive coordinator in my memory in Missouri history.
Very weird for Danny White to tie himself to Josh Heupel.
I don't think anyone else wanted to work there because Tennessee is a dog shit job because they expect to be
Don't tell that
Alabama
to-
by year 2.
Don't tell that to Clay Travis.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah. If you hire, I'm surprised that no one accused Josh Heupel of child sex trafficking. I mean, all you have to do is watch 3 seconds of his offense,
Shiano, man.
be an insane Tennessee fan, and then be like, I've got to put child porn charges on this
Year
guy.
2 of Shiano at Rutgers.
I hope Rutgers is better than Tennessee over the next 20 years, or however long Shauna's there. 10
Who's
years,
who's
whatever.
better this year, Rutgers or Tennessee?
Rutgers. Well, better or better record?
Better record, yeah. We'll go with
Rutgers.
that. Yeah, I think Rutgers.
I'll take Rutgers all
think
fucking
Rutgers
day.
does.
They're absolutely going to be winning Tennessee. Are
They
there any
open up
Tennessee
a
fans in the
temple.
chat, by the way? Because, goddamn, that is... I'm sorry for you. BT Bates says Tennessee sucks for Clay Travis. I agree with that. What do we got next?
We got teams outside the top 25 most likely to crash the playoffs / New Year's Six.
Just the teams we're highest
Teams
on.
we're highest on, yeah.
Yeah.
So you have your list. I have mine. I just have one team.
You just have one here. I'll say mine 3. I think Ole Miss is one of them. I think
Clear.
Ole Miss could backdoor their way into a New Year's Six bowl. It's going to be tough just because of, not even just because I don't think, like I said, I think they could win double-digit games in the regular season, though I think they'll probably do it with the bowl game included. However, the second best team in the West is Texas A&M right now in terms of rankings and shit like that. Mm-hmm. I have no faith in LSU, and I think Ole Miss is better than LSU.
Mississippi State's going to stink.
Mississippi State's not going to be that good. If an Ole Miss plays A&M at home, if they finish second in the West, and especially if the second place team in the East sucks, or like is kind of whatever,
Florida.
which they very well could be, yeah, Ole Miss can get in. They're not going to make the playoff. I mean, it would take a fucking miracle.
You're
for them
just
to make-
saying they're going to be at, like, I don't know, the Sugar Bowl or something.
Yes, I really think Ole
I
Miss has
haven't
a shot.
actually looked at which games are the playoffs.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah. The other team I think could get real weird and feisty, even though I actually don't think they're going to do it. I just could see the schedule working out the way, is Kentucky.
Ooh, they just had a whole lot of issues at a frat party.
Yeah, and that's why I don't necessarily think they're going to do it. I just like the way their schedule works out, and I like the fact that the East is often chaotic, right?
It's a little weird. I'll ask you too, Giorgio. Did you ever have problems with fraternities? Like, why are the fraternities coming after your football team? Like,
the fraternities aren't
beef.
coming after. It's the football team coming after the fraternity.
no, there was a reason why. There was a reason.
What was the reason?
The football team would always steal your girls.
They were not let in the door.
Yeah, but then the girls would come outside, and then that would make you mad.
Well, then why did they start punching girls?
I would just never have a beef. I would never have beef with
That's
the
what the
football
Kentucky
team.
players did.
I retract my statement.
Solely off this one reason alone, I would never have beef with the football team because, like, what else are you going to cheer for? Like, your Saturdays are ruined for the rest of,
Right.
if your tenure at your school
Right.
because it's like, fuck, like, I got to cheer for these assholes now. That
Also, it stands to reason more people would come to your parties if the football or basketball team is there.
I don't think so.
No, power and numbers for sure. Collab.
Yeah. No. The football team, any team, would always roll deep by themselves. They never brought anybody.
They were brought. No, I'm not saying they bring people. I'm saying their presence entices others.
You know who weirdly brought the most amount of people was the cheerleaders. The male cheerleaders would bring all their female counterparts,
would. That
and then they rolled
Would you-
deep with women.
Weirdly, that makes sense.
Yeah, it made a lot of
Actually,
sense.
fuck, fraternities should start having pledges join the fucking
Be
cheer
male
squad.
cheerleaders, yeah.
Although, I mean, most of the cheerleaders are already in houses, but I guess it's just like getting them, funneling them to your house in particular. Like 3 of you need to go. Who can do a handstand? You're a cheerleader now. Go fucking try out, and you get to miss the weekly meetings.
Yeah,
do
so
that.
BT Bates is saying at the moment they lost their quarterback. Hopefully, they recruited a good one for, I think, Kentucky because they robbed the fraternity, allegedly dropped the M word, whatever. Little kind of a back and forth.
That's not out of the question for me, but also, like, look, it's not out of the question that a Kentucky frat guy dropped an N-bomb, but when the people claiming that someone dropped an N-bomb confirmed were punching women in the face, I don't necessarily value their testimony as much because they might want to say anything they can possibly say.
To get out of that, yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what Joe Mixon said when he broke that girl's face, is that she said something racist to him.
Also, what Myles Garrett said about
Yeah.
homeboy for the Steelers.
Yeah. Now, look, I'm not saying is it out of the realm of possibility? Absolutely not.
Mason Rudolph.
Yeah. Do I think I trust someone less after they've jumped into a crowd and started punching random women in the face? Yeah, they might be trying to say things to help their case.
So I'm going to say I question your pick of Kentucky to be this good. Solely off this.
There
I think
weren't a
this is
lot of
not
things I
good-
like, but I just the East.
After like 35, 36, it falls off.
It falls off a cliff. The other one I
real
liked
bad.
was your guys, UCF, who aren't ranked.
Yeah.
Who I could see. And also, you guys have a lower bar to clear to make a New Year's Six bowl.
Schedule's not bad.
Well, I just mean, all you have to do is be, ranked in the top 15?
You just got to be the highest ranked G5 team.
Yeah, that's not a terrible bar to clear.
No.
So I like UCF to do that for sure.
I
You have a
mean-
weird pick that I disagree with.
You don't like TCU?
No, not at all.
Why?
Why don't I like TCU? Let me look at their schedule.
Max
again.
Duggan's coming back. 19 starts under his belt. Dual threat. White guy, which I love.
A dual threat white guy. Well, there you go.
And like a legit one because he had last year against Tech, he had an 81-yard run. So like he is fast.
So you
Like,
think
he's
these guys could sneak into a New Year's Six bowl? Because they're not making a playoff.
he can sling it. You know, he's got 10. He had 10 touchdowns last year, 4 interceptions, whatever.
They'll start 3-0. I could see Texas beating them to be annoying early.
They
I
have-
could also see TCU beating
They have
Texas.
4 backs this year that all had over 100 yards in a game last year.
They're going to lose to Oklahoma. I don't love that they play also at Oklahoma State and at Iowa State.
They're going to be the best defense in the Big 12 this year.
What does that even mean? And actually, I disagree. I think Oklahoma is going to be the best defense in the Big 12.
I mean, I could see Oklahoma having a really good defense under Grinch.
I like Grinch.
Ross does not agree with that. He hates Grinch.
Yeah, I'm telling. Fuck, dude. I mean, Oklahoma State at Oklahoma State in November. That's not a fun game.
Yeah, they have to go to Oklahoma. They have to go to Stillwater.
And they have to go to Ames.
They catch Texas at home.
They catch Texas at home.
My argument is I think they are going to be the second best team in the Big 12. and it'll come down. I think they play.
Yeah, but it's a soft ass Big 12.
Yeah, no, but they're going to play in the Big 12 championship. That's my prediction. TCU, and then they just got to win that game.
Okay.
They're not going to make the playoff probably if they do that. If they go undefeated, they make the playoff. Yeah, obviously.
So, well, yeah, okay, but so you think they only lose 3 games or only lose 2 games?
I think they have a chance to play in the conference championship.
Okay.
And as long as they win that game, they go in.
Right.
Like if you win the Big 12, you're in.
So you think they have some?
You're
they're going to
New Year's
play
Six.
themselves into some semblance of a coin flip.
Yes. So
And then-
you get to the Big 12 championship, you win that game, you're in the New Year's Six bowl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, if they win that game, then that keeps presumably Oklahoma out of the playoff.
Yes. Which I would love because again, I am so low on Oklahoma this year. Their offense, I think their defense is good. I think the skill players good. I like Lincoln Riley. Hate Spencer Rattler. I don't think he's a good quarterback. I think he's going to put up numbers.
Yeah,
he's going to pad his stats. But like when it comes to crunch time and it comes to something actually meaning something, he will crumble.
This is going to be a dog shit Heisman race.
Yeah, people that are like picking him to win the Heisman, like he's one of the favorites. No, I don't think like he's going to be in 2 or 3 big spots this year, and he will fail every single time because he's immature. He makes bad decisions.
Is he a true sophomore?
No, I think he redshirted 1 year. Either way, I don't buy the Spencer Rattler hype.
He's only 20, so be a sophomore, junior. All right, well, fuck him. We're not talking about Oklahoma anyway. I don't like TCU. I see 4 losses on this schedule. Some combination of Texas, West Virginia, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, Iowa State. They lose 4 of those games.
West Virginia's not very good.
I still don't like it. I like Neil Brown.
They're solid, but
I like Neil Brown. And I don't trust TCU. And I don't fucking trust him.
Okay. And then some quick hitters outside, other teams outside the box that we're high on this year, just teams we think are going to do well. Obviously not like New Year's Six Bowl well, but like, improvement. They're going to make some noise. Teams are going to make some noise.
Let's call it like make some noise to potential 10 wins with a bowl, including a bowl win.
Like ceiling 10 wins? I don't know. Maybe 8, 9 wins.
I think ceiling's 10 wins if you include the bowl win, not 10 regular season wins.
All right. I'm fine with that. UTSA.
Okay. Why?
Roadrunners.
Why?
Just bringing back a lot of talent. I think they're heading in the right direction. I think UTSA is they're potentially going to win the Conference USA.
Okay.
Toledo.
I do like UTSA. By the way, great
Colors.
Great mascot. Love the Roadrunners. Also, I knew a teacher once. I didn't want to know her, but she was sleeping with her high school student. I didn't meet her till after this, and she was dating him, and he went to play football at UTSA, and she quit her teacher job to fuck this UTSA football player.
Sick.
It was one of the weirdest moments of my life. It was actually the first weekend me and my wife started dating, and I was like, "Who is this? And why does she work with you?" Oh, what? She does that? And then even though she was dating the football player who she ruined her life over, she kept rubbing one of our former coworkers' wieners under the table at a Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
It's pretty
Name
weird.
names.
What?
Just tell me offline.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you offline for sure. And she was not... I don't understand any of what was happening through it. But anyway, that's my main memory of UTSA football.
Okay. Frank Harris, quarterback. Have some fond memories of gambling on UTSA last year. They covered a lot of games, so I'm gonna go back to that. Well, I think they're gonna be much improved. I think they actually give Illinois a game. I think they beat Illinois week 2.
UTSA?
Yeah.
I see that. Bert's terrible.
Yeah, but I'm pretty. And we'll get to it week 0. But I think Illinois might win this week, and then little letdown spot week 2.
I could see that for sure.
Toledo. I think they win the MAC. Picking Toledo to win the MAC.
I like Toledo
over Buffalo. And then
Buffalo's good though. I mean, I like
Boston College.
I have Boston College on my list as well.
Like Boston College.
They are a really fucking good,
just solid
team.
Just solid team.
Yeah. And they're going to be. I didn't realize how tough they were going to be for Missouri. I actually if COVID had never happened and this baby had never happened, I'd probably be going up to the Mizzou Boston College game in week 2 or 3, whenever it is. My first one is Liberty.
Like Liberty?
I don't think we're going to be long to talk about Liberty. I think Liberty is going to be pretty much floating around the bottom of the top 25 unless they lose to Louisiana late in the season. I think they're going to give Ole Miss a game late in the season. I think they beat Syracuse at Syracuse. Hugh Freeze is their coach. Malik Willis is a fucking dope quarterback.
He is.
Like,
why? How did they get him to go to Liberty? I don't understand that.
Hugh Freeze just being weird. I don't
That's
know.
true.
Like, Liberty might start 1, 2, 3, 4.
How many games is Hugh Freeze going to coach from a hospital bed?
As many as he can.
Okay.
I guess. Liberty has a non-zero chance to start out 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Liberty has a non-zero chance to start out 9-0 going into the Ole Miss game.
And they'll beat Ole Miss, so 10-0.
Dude, I mean, if they beat Ole Miss, I mean, fuck. Then their season gets crazy.
They're beating Syracuse for sure.
Yeah, they're for sure beating Syracuse right now. I wonder if Liberty will even be a dog. They probably won't be.
No, not against Campbell, not against Troy, not against Old Dominion.
No, not against any of those teams. I mean,
I know, but
Syracuse.
I'm looking at their schedule right now. They're not going to be a fucking dog until that Ole Miss game. They got a dog shit schedule. Their schedules. They might run the table. They might go undefeated and just not even go to a New Year's Six bowl. They might just go to like just a fucking big bad boy mowers bowl in Tampa or something.
But they're going to be ranked though.
Barely, yeah.
No, they'll be top 20. I don't think it might be tough for them to
Campbell,
crack 15.
Troy, Old Dominion, Middle Tennessee, UAB, North Texas.
I mean,
Louisiana Monroe. Ugh.
if they beat
UMass. If they play, I think on their schedule, they have half of like the top 10 worst teams in the country.
Yeah. If they beat Ole Miss and Louisiana back-to-back weeks.
If they beat Louisiana, I think that's good enough, yeah.
Yeah. I like Liberty. I'm high on Liberty. They are going to be padding stats. Next up, I'm a fucking homer, but I don't care. I love the way this season lays out for Mizzou. Just shut the fuck up, Ross. I don't need it.
Don't worry, I'll put him in his place.
Connor Bazelak was the SEC Freshman of the Year.
Doesn't throw a whole lot of touchdowns.
He doesn't need to. He didn't need to last year. Larry Roundtree putting the ball in. He's hyper efficient. Drink is one of the best offensive coaches in the SEC.
He's not.
He absolutely is.
Sure isn't.
They have two huge games in the first 4 weeks that are going to decide everything, essentially, for this team.
The Central Michigan Chippewas. That's an L.
That's not one.
Immediate loss.
I know you love your chips.
Yeah, dude, McElwain's going to have the boys ready to go.
I don't think so. At Kentucky
Chip up.
and at Boston College, there's a decent chance, not a good chance, but a decent chance they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They could be 6-0 going into the A&M game.
Southeast Missouri, too, week 3. Like, I could see an 0-4 start right here.
I don't give a shit.
Rob,
They got two
can I
huge
get a MIZ?
cornerback transfers from Tulsa, both of whom are probable, one's probably a first-round draft pick.
You got the mean green of North Texas coming in October 9th. That's not a W. Oof.
Missouri is going to finish second in the East. Calling it right now. I love Mizzou for this. They're going to be ranked in and out, but they're going to be ranked. I'm just going to
5,
jump off
6.
just to shut you up. But I'm telling you, Bazelak, Tyler Beatty, their offensive line is pretty fucking
7, 8.
experienced. So is their D line. They don't have. There's no unit I'm worried about on this team.
I'm seeing 4 and 8.
4 and 8.
4 and
That's what
8.
you're seeing. All right. If only we played in the American.
If only.
Yeah.
If only we couldn't, if only UCF could play Southeast Missouri every year.
That's half your schedule. You play in the fucking American.
I know, we're playing Temple this year. Temple's truly bad.
That's a conference game. I don't want to fucking hear it. Next up, I kind of love Pitt. Pitt's a little dangerous to me.
Are they mean?
No, they're not mean.
They are mean. Their defense line's always mean.
Yeah.
And you don't just hold Kenny Pickett down for 5 years. He's back again. Kenny Pickett's back.
I don't disagree with that in a lot of ways. I really don't.
We'll get to Kenny Pickett later.
The way their schedule works out, dude, ESPN's website is fucking dog shit, by the way. The way their schedule
That's why
works
they're firing
out.
everybody.
They're the 40th ranked team in S&P Plus right now. They've got a top 30 defense, and their schedule. UMass I think they beat Tennessee week 2. I'm a Tennessee hater, so that's fine. I think they beat Tennessee week 2. And then, like, what are we looking at here? At Georgia Tech, at Virginia Tech will be tough. I could see Clemson not covering against Pitt. I see them beating Miami. I think Pitt probably beats either Miami or UNC. Miami's probably dropping out. I think we talk about this later. Miami sucks, I think.
Yeah, I'm not super high on Manny Diaz. Derek King will probably get hurt at some point.
But I mean, I see like 8-9 wins on this fucking schedule.
Did you say you have them beating Tennessee in Knoxville?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if I can go that far.
I'm a Tennessee hater. You really like Heupel to win any games?
No, but like,
do you like picking
Pitt going into Knoxville?
Didn't Georgia State do it?
I mean, they're gonna roll UMass.
Didn't Georgia State go into Knoxville and win?
Was that last year?
That was like 2 years ago.
Yeah. You don't do it twice.
It's not some fucking Thunderdome.
Yeah.
And then Boston College is my other one. We talked about him a little bit already.
The Clemson game's at Pitt this year too.
Yeah.
Kenny's already done it.
That's fucking sneaky.
Right? Kenny beat Clemson 3 years ago?
Something like that.
Yeah. I think 2018.
Yeah. Boston College opens up against 3 dog shit teams, then catches Mizzou. Whoever wins that Mizzou Boston College game, I think is going to have a nice season. They're going to lose to Clemson, but then like, where are the other losses on this schedule? Like, there's going to be 1 or 2 probably, but NC State at Louisville at Syracuse, like those are 2 road games I'm not worried about. They get Virginia Tech at home. They get Florida State at home. Wake, like Boston College, they don't have a tough schedule, but they really might win like 9 games.
Yeah, I can see it. Again, we're both high on the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, I do like them a lot.
All right, next segment. First coach to get fired. Very optimistic segment. Who do you got?
Just Scott Frost. It seems like they're trying to.
Yeah. I'm gonna go a little in depth.
This isn't the NFL, so I don't think it's like a mid-season firing.
I went with Justin Fuente at Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Obviously, I feel like they've been trying to fire him for years now. Same
It
kind of
seems like they
situation.
regretted the hire from the start.
A little bit.
But here's another thing with Virginia Tech, though. That seems like another program where it's like, are you what you think you are?
Yeah.
Are you really? Because I hear things like Virginia Tech has like a proud history and all this stuff. I know they had Mike Vick, and I'm sure they've done other stuff that I can't remember because it was before my life, really. But like,
Beamer ball.
what have you really, really, really done?
They had one coach.
And
right?
where are you recruiting from?
It's kind of I guess, like a lesser Penn State, right? Where your whole program was built around one guy.
Yeah.
And he leaves.
Yep.
And then you lost your identity.
Yeah. I mean, Penn State had good years under Franklin. They kind of got robbed out of that one playoff.
Right. But I'm saying, like, again, it's not Penn State, but it's like a lesser, mid-Atlantic school.
I don't know where
your whole program was essentially just built through one guy, Beamer ball.
Yep.
When I think Virginia Tech football, I think of that meme or that photo, that screenshot of them going to overtime 0-0, I think against Wake Forest, where Beamer's just going like this, cheering.
That was the only thing more depressing I've seen is when Charlie Weiss had Kansas practice winning. Like they had them practice celebrating a win.
Mangino got a raw deal at Kansas.
I mean, at this point, Kansas would probably take some tortured football players over what is currently happening.
BT Bates says they're going to bring in Shane Beamer for the next 25 years.
Might as well. Although I think they're probably
keep it in the family.
I think they're giving up on Fuente a little early.
I don't.
You don't think so?
No.
All right, maybe he just needs to change of scenery.
Yeah, probably. I didn't really like him at Memphis.
What was he? Why did he win at Memphis then? Why was he good at Memphis?
He was okay. He was kind of like a Drink at App State, where he was kind of in between.
All right. All right.
Norvell was a much better coach at Memphis.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But I think Fuente, first 5 games, they catch North Carolina, West Virginia, Notre Dame. I think it's at West Virginia too.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to go 2-3 in their first 5 games. He's already on the hot seat. I think they're just going to kind of push him out. I think he gets fired midseason.
But this isn't the NFL. That doesn't happen.
It could.
That doesn't happen in college. I mean, fucking Burt Bielema had like one of the worst seasons in Arkansas history. They didn't fire him until the season was. I mean, they fired him on the sideline. Like they walked up to him on the sideline. And were like, "You're done." But mid-season firings don't happen very often.
Yeah, but again, I think he's first coach gone.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
Yeah.
I don't think we see anyone of note axed mid-season. I think Scott Frost gets fucking canned right at the end of the season. But honestly, with this shit that's going on with Scott Frost, he feels like if there was a mid-season one, because they're like, oh, we have the show cause or whatever the fuck.
We have the receipts.
Yeah, you're gone.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. Now let's get into our segment.
The Fatal Four.
Fatal Four. It's our updated rankings weekly. 4 worst teams in America in Division One.
I'm not going off stats. I'm just going off heart.
Off heart.
Yeah, for this.
Okay. I went UL Monroe.
Okay, fine, sure.
I think they're the worst team in America.
Why not?
I don't think they win a game this year. Bowling Green.
Again, sure. Great.
UMass. And then the loser of Akron versus Temple week 2.
Now, Temple is a Power 6 team.
Yeah, they are.
So you think they are
One of the 4 worst teams in the country, yeah.
okay? All right. I actually kept mine almost. Actually, 2 of my teams in my Fatal Four are Power 5 teams.
See that?
I went all basketball schools. That's my theme.
Oh, let's guess. As you can see, he wrote out Kansas, but lowercased it.
Because I know it pisses you off.
No, it's just a Mizzou guy thing.
It is, but I know it also pisses you off.
You do the lowercase K, uppercase U. It's very petty.
It is, because Kansas is neither a proper name nor a proper place. But obviously, Kansas is going to be dog shit.
Kansas is a fine state. It's much greener than I thought it
No,
would be.
it's stupid. It's because you're banging a chick from Kansas. Is she even from Kansas? She just went to K-State?
She's from Vegas.
Yeah, that's weird.
No, she's lived in Kansas, grew up in Kansas.
Yeah. Who are they going to beat? They might beat South Dakota week 1. Sure. Then they catch Coastal week 2, who they are not going to beat. Baylor week 3, who they're not going to beat. At Duke. Duke's pretty shitty. They might beat Duke. Iowa State, Tech, Oklahoma. I mean, they have – if they win 2 games, it's a fucking miracle.
Yeah. No. They're going to be dog shit.
Yeah. Next up, UConn.
Although, is Puka back?
No, he smacked a lady and then went to the draft.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a piece of shit. Kansas, by the way, one of the top schools at not expelling people who punch ladies.
This is true.
Yeah.
Although they got rid of less.
They did get
For,
rid of
the
lad.
sexual
Maybe things.
assault.
Jeff Long, their AD's gone too, so maybe things are changing there.
Oh, but they're going to get ran off the field by Coastal.
Oh yeah,
Coastal's going to
they're
destroy
going to
them
lose
again.
badly.
Yeah.
UConn.
They
another
might
one.
beat Duke. Duke's going to be bad.
Duke's going to be terrible too. I almost put Duke in there just to get real basketball.
At least Duke has a coach.
Yes. UConn's another one. I don't even know what I need to explain. They're not even going to be D1 for much longer. FBS, whatever the fuck. They're done. Syracuse. People don't understand how bad Syracuse is going to be. Dino Babbers should have actually been my pick for
Babers.
fucking I don't give who cares.
He was before the Heupel hire, or not the Heupel hire, the Scott Frost hire.
Yeah.
He was our main candidate that we
Ooh.
were targeting.
Lucky you.
And he went to Syracuse, and thankfully we got Scott Frost.
Yeah. That worked out better for you. Syracuse is going to be awful, and then I have UMass too, because that's another school.
UMass is really bad.
Like UConn, where it's like, why are you in this division even?
Yep.
What are you doing?
And then highest ranked teams in the current top 25 that we think will finish unranked. So we both got LSU.
Yeah, LSU is absolutely not finishing the season ranked.
Shit, is that a guy that could they fire Orgeron?
Nah, not that quickly. Although, unless he's got some heat on him too for a player
Yeah.
like sexually harassing an old woman.
There's a lot of stuff there.
Yeah,
Yeah, if LSU's like a 5-win or 16-win team this year, I think he could be gone.
I think he gets one more year.
Okay.
But I think people realize very quickly that it was a combination of Joe Burrow and his coordinators
Yes.
who did the work on
Joe
that.
Brady.
Yeah,
it was all Brady.
yeah.
I can see that. Indiana. I don't like Indiana this year.
That's fair. I mean, Indiana.
They're going to regress to the mean as well.
I just it's hard to even know what happened last year.
And
I
then-
don't hate Indiana, but I do feel like Indiana, even though they're a basketball school, it's the type of brand that people get excited to rank. You know what I mean?
Right.
Same with Iowa State. I actually think people get excited to rank Iowa State because they're like, oh, this isn't a normal team.
Yeah, and anytime you get a basketball school ranked as a football team, there's a sense of comfort.
Yeah, and it's almost like a nice narrative. I think people really, it's actually annoying how excited people would get to be like, oh, Kansas is good at football now again. Like and I think Indiana's the same way. I think Duke, to a lesser extent, they were like that with Duke, but they don't like Duke. I actually think there's a bit of that with North Carolina as well.
Yeah, but Max got the boys rolling.
I do like North
And
Carolina.
Sam Howell is a legit quarterback. Arizona State, Herm, he's building better men. That doesn't mean they have to win games. It's just about building better people off the field.
It's like Ted Lasso, but with NCAA
With
violations.
Jaden Daniels, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get that. I also have LSU, and then this is just a petty one for me, but I don't care. Texas. They're not going to be ranked.
No, see, that's where you're wrong. They could be like a 6 or 7 win team,
And still get ranked.
but they get hot at the end of the year.
Yeah, if they win like
They
3,
go
4.
7-5, and then they win like 2 or 3 straight.
Yeah, to finish the
All
year.
right.
It's fair, but I'm still taking them. And then Iowa. I don't know why people like Iowa so much. They had a pretty tough schedule. I don't have faith in Iowa.
Last 4 years, do you know which secondary has, I believe, the most interceptions in the country?
I guess Iowa. Mm-hmm. All right, I don't care.
And you know who's returning all of their secondary this year?
Tight. Is it Iowa?
It's Iowa.
I don't have faith in Iowa. No faith in Iowa. That might be my one where where I look like a fucking idiot, but I don't care. And the next one, we got the all-average team. Our all-average picks.
Yep. So
these are not all Americans, but they're not dog shit either.
No. Right. So most podcasts, most websites, they're going to go with their all-American picks. I just went with guys that I thought were going to have a semi-decent season. And we're, the all-average team.
All right.
They're not gonna, be too great. They're not gonna win you a whole lot of
Serviceable.
games. But they're gonna be just perfectly mediocre.
Perfect.
So quarterback, Kenny Pickett,
Pitt. I love Pitt. I think he's gonna be more than serviceable.
Oh, you think he's gonna single-handedly win games?
No, but I think he's gonna be efficient and just do a nice job.
Okay. Second quarterback on the list, Skylar Thompson, Kansas State. He's back.
Okay. You like how he looked
Dual
against
threat.
Oklahoma last year?
I think he got hurt during that game, actually.
Oh, he didn't? Okay.
Yeah. No, he got hurt pretty early on.
Hey guys, hold on. I have a question. Ross asked me to ask you about these HBCU picks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I believe the first game, week 0, I think Alcorn State plays. Love Alcorn State.
I'll take that. Didn't you say that was usually an end of the season?
Yeah,
game?
and I think it's NCAT NT or whatever.
I don't know.
It's like a phone company. Yeah, they're playing
A&T.
A&T. Yeah, there it is.
A&T.
They play Alcorn State. I feel like they play it in a bowl game every year. So
Yeah, they're
I'll
always
be on
good.
Alcorn State.
All right.
Honorable mention for the all-average team, Dustin Crum from Kent State.
Sounds great.
If you
Sounds pretty mediocre.
Yeah, if you bet the little Maction, you're gonna see fucking Dustin Crum lighting it up. But it's the Mac, so he'll always be average. Running back, we got Kevin Marks Jr. from Buffalo. He's gonna go for a good probably 800 yards this year.
Tight. I love the next pick.
Frank Gore Jr.
Yeah. Little name recognition.
Southern Miss.
So you don't think he's too average to end up playing with his dad in the NFL?
Probably. His dad will still be playing in the NFL in 3 or 4 years, but I don't think he makes the NFL. He's gonna.
Will his dad be playing in the NFL longer than he plays in college?
Yes.
Like in terms of like.
Remaining.
Yeah.
Frank Gore is going to play until he's about 55. He's going to somehow beat all the
And then retire
tropes of
and immediately
running backs.
die.
Yes. The minute Frank Gore Sr. retires, he's done.
Like his body's done.
Yeah,
It will
he
collapse.
just walks off the earth.
Yeah. What's the football equivalent of walking into the cornfield and disappearing?
The goalpost.
Yeah, I guess that's what he does.
He just goes inside to the goalpost.
Yeah, but he disintegrates
Like Joe Horn's phone.
Like
No,
Thanos.
it's the locker room. He
Just
goes
goes
in like
between
one
the
last
lockers.
halftime.
Fair enough.
Trayvon Bradford from Oregon State, a receiver.
Okay.
He's going to put up, 500 yards.
Oregon State puts up numbers
600
though,
yards.
so he's just not going to put up numbers.
They're a good offense.
Yeah, Oregon State slings it.
Yeah, but they spread it around.
All right.
So, he'll have a good season. Just,
Yeah.
600-700 yards. Then we got Jack Sorensen from Miami of Ohio. Also a candidate from old segment, future real estate player of the week. Jack Sorensen is exactly what you think, just a very average white guy.
Yeah, so a real estate agent.
Yeah, real estate agent. Josh Ali from Kentucky.
Now, was he part of the fight or no?
Actually, that's a good question.
I don't see him. I just Googled Josh Ali Kentucky fight. I don't see him. So
I think we're good.
yeah, I think we're all right.
And then we got tight end Blake Kern from Arkansas.
That is a tight end name.
Kern.
That's a college tight end name, Blake Kern.
Look at a photo of him and his little neck beard. Very tight end. Very Arkansas tight end. Then we got Derek Deese Jr. from San Jose State. And then for O-line, I just went with Boston College because they probably have one of the better offensive lines in the country, like a top 10 offensive line. But, again, they're an offensive line, and so they're perfectly average.
Yeah.
And you'll never know about them.
Yes.
Defense, NC State.
Just their defense, perfectly average.
Completely dictated by how healthy Peyton Willis is going to be, their linebacker. So last year, whenever he was on the field, they were a pretty good defense, and then whenever they were bad, whenever he was off the field, they were terrible. So average.
All right, perfect. Is it going to be an average where it's like he's on the field sometimes and they're brilliant, and then he's off the field sometimes and they're terrible? And you're going to average it out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And now,
so it's not like a beige defense.
We're finally getting to
some week zero
picks to end the show.
So in the future, by the way, we will be picking games that aren't ranked. Sometimes
which are all these games?
Yeah, we might pick some games where there's a ranked team if we really like the unranked team.
It depends.
But typically it'll be unranked versus unranked.
Yeah, it's got to be like probably a 26-35 team playing a top 25 team.
Yeah. Well, like, for example, maybe like Liberty at Ole Miss at some point.
But we will not give you the perspective of the top 25 team.
No, not at all.
We will try to do the entire breakdown without mentioning them.
Yeah,
yes.
3. Sure. I won't even say their name.
So when Mizzou plays Alabama, you will get no Alabama coverage.
Yeah, perfect. I love that. We don't play Alabama this year, but I love that.
Oh, wait. You guys aren't making the SEC championship? Okay. No.
Well, we wouldn't be on the show if we were making
That's right. You're winning 4 games. Nebraska, -6.5. These lines, of course, are available at mybookie.com.
Promo code Drinking Bros. Doubles your deposit.
Doubles your deposit. Go ahead and use that code. Nebraska -6.5 at Champaign.
Give me that Illinois money line.
Illinois, over-unders 55, money lines +205. You like Illinois money line?
Fuck it.
See, we both agree.
Fuck it.
I think kind of between the pressure on Scott Frost right now.
And how happy can those practices in locker room be with all this shit that's going on?
The same Illinois team pretty much went into Lincoln last year and rolled Nebraska.
Yeah.
I like Brett. I like Bielema back in the Big Ten.
Call him Bert. His name is Bert.
I'll call him Bert.
Yeah, his name is Bert. And I don't like him. I think he sucks. But
I love him in the Big Ten. Just feels right. He sucked at Arkansas because of the SEC, but he could. You're telling me Illinois under Bert can't win 8-9 games a year?
Illinois can't win 8-9 games a year under anyone.
That's not true.
It's very rare. They're not a good football school. They're not a good program. They can't even do well. They were a number 1 seed in basketball this year. They were out in the second round. They can't even recruit Chicago competently in basketball.
They got most of their offensive line back.
I have no faith in this school. I don't think that school cares about sports.
Daniel Barker, Luke Ford returning at tight end.
But they're going to beat Nebraska, I think.
Yeah, Brandon Peters. They're saying all good things coming out of camp about Brandon Peters.
I like
transfer from 2 years ago.
I just like Illinois better, and it's a home game.
Yeah, it's a home game for Illinois. You're getting the points. Take the points. Take the money line. Yeah, here some stats. You think Scott Frost offense. It's got to be explosive. Got to be good. No, ranked 119th last year in explosive passive rating at 1.6%.
Yeah.
No, they weirdly aren't great on offense.
Because it's hard to get skilled players to fucking
to
Nebraska.
Go to Lincoln, yeah. Also, third in the country last year in drives ending in turnovers at a 19% clip.
So they turn the ball over. Yep. They're not explosive, and they're playing on the road.
Give me Bert.
Yeah, give me Bert all fucking day.
Next game, UConn at Fresno State. UConn's catching 27.5.
You like UConn covering there?
Over under 63. Hell no.
Oh, okay.
Fresno State's going to destroy them.
Okay.
Fresno State, like I said last year, didn't get to hold a single in-person activity last year from March 12th to September 25th. Still finished 3-3. Jake Haener is back at quarterback, averaging last year 336 yards per game passing. Most of his weapons are returning. UConn was one of 3 teams last year that did not play.
Oh, perfect.
They didn't play at all.
Okay.
So
Does that mean they're rested?
gotta think they're rested. Plenty of rest. Rest versus rust. What do you believe?
Yeah.
Randy Edsel, since returning back to UConn, he is 6-30. Just in general.
Right. That's
Not-
why they're going D2. That's why they're going FCS.
They should probably sit.
there-
They should
man.
sit this year out too.
Think about how UConn went from making a BCS bowl to not being Division 1 in like 15 years. Maybe less.
Yeah.
It's
Not-
fucking brutal.
They went from the Orange Bowl to
Were they the Orange Bowl?
it was the Orange Bowl, right?
I don't remember. It was one of them. It's fucking brutal.
Either way, Fresno State and the under, because I don't think UConn scores a whole lot.
I don't love that over-under. I'll take your word on Fresno State. I'm not going to bet this game because it's a little sketchy to me. Like, I just don't. I can't. I've never
Always
read on
bet
it.
week 0.
I love the next game, though. I love UCLA.
Also, Sean or Nick, go ahead and write down our picks so we can keep track. Or I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
I'll go back and I want to keep record. I want to be an honest man.
Okay.
with my
Yeah, let's keep
gambling
our
picks.
records. I love UCLA covering against Hawaii.
So Hawaii's getting 17.5 against UCLA, over under 68. Why don't you just hammer that over?
You like the over?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just let's have fun, man. It's a Hawaii UCLA game. Take
agree
the
with that.
over. It's going to be late night.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think UCLA covers.
I think they cover.
I think
they win
S&P
by-
had it. Bill Connolly had it at 22.
I think they win
Is
by
the real
30.
line for S&P?
Yeah.
So yeah. I think they cover easily. I think the over smashes because Hawaii cannot stop anyone.
No.
Cordero, the quarterback for Hawaii, though, he can dump in some points.
Okay.
So I think Todd Graham will put up a respectable. I think if Hawaii scores 24 points, it's an easy over.
I don't think Hawaii scores. 24 is a big ask for Hawaii against UCLA, I feel like.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Like late.
Yeah, slinging it. So what do you think? They like have 14 going into the fourth, or maybe like 14 going in with like halfway through the third
All right, how
quarter?
about that? 42-21.
All right.
That's still not an over, though.
Oh, yeah, that's...
So
I think UCLA, I think you pencil them in for 50 to be
you think
quite
so?
honest.
49?
Yeah.
49-21 is the over.
Okay.
Okay, I could buy that.
Yeah, I can buy that too.
And then the last game to wrap out our first episode.
The most outside the top 25 game you could possibly have.
The most anticipated game of the weekend in this studio. Thanks to Hightower Sean. Your
Paso's
University of Texas, El Paso, what are they, the Miners?
Yeah.
Versus the New Mexico State Aggies. The line is 10. UTEP's laying 10 on the road. Over-under's 59.
I don't know anything about the over-under. I'll just take...
Do you know anything? Do you know one thing about either of these teams?
No. No. Just give me a UTEP to cover. Fuck it. Worst case, they...
You think UTEP is covering 10 on the road?
Yeah.
You're an insane person.
Why not?
So New Mexico State, actually one of the few teams that played in the spring.
Okay.
So they're rolling. Really, they had the most recent games.
Yeah. So they're but do you think
They are
they're-
not rested.
I
They,
said, do you think they're tired?
they could be tired.
Yeah.
They could be tired from playing a spring ball.
Yeah. That's my worry.
I think they played one game.
They're too achy.
I think they only played one game.
The hell. One more than
Why
none.
would you do that?
They could be tired.
Yeah, no, I think the Aggies at home, fresh off their W in the spring against a D2 team, FCS school,
Yeah.
I think they get the boys rolling and they lose by 9.
Okay.
They cover.
UTEP by 14.
Okay.
2 touchdowns.
Give me the
UTEP wins this
Aggies.
game.
Aggies cover. UTEP wins the game.
All right.
Over under, they probably don't even sniff the over.
I don't don't love betting that over. No. Yeah.
Hammer that under.
Let's call it 20-6.
I'm going to go 20-13.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Works for me. Or
they lose by 7.
maybe it's fucking 50-35.
Who knows?
Yeah. Really.
Who could possibly say?
Who could say? That's all we got for this week.
Yeah, we'll be back next week. Every show will be on Wednesdays moving forward.
Yeah, we had a baseball situation this week.
We had to move the show back a little bit.
Holloway likes to travel.
He does. So
there we go.
Giorgio. No other way we could go out than with New Mexico State and UTEP. Make sure to rate and subscribe the Drinking Bros Sports channel. Tell them how much you enjoyed this show, particularly the Outside the Top 25.
Yes. Tell them how much you love the Outside the Top 25 show. We'll be back every week giving you the picks for your teams because your team is definitely not in the top 25.